Hello again, Capricorn, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards here for you, and I love what you pulled here. These two are really cute together. So from Le Vampire, you pulled Maynard. Madness, ecstatic ritual, and energy release. So now this card is saying that it is safe for you to give way to feelings of intense bliss and happiness, even excitement. Feeling deeply and allowing yourself to be swept up in the rapture is a beautiful thing for you to experience at this time. And this card is telling you to go dancing, go out, and indulge in ritual that gives you a safe escape for your wild urges. I love it. I love it. And then on top of that, you have growth from chakra wisdom. And I love the quote for this one. It says, your message is best expressed when you are uniquely you. It's beautiful. So growth is asking you, what have you outgrown? And are you willing to become independent? This is about taking a stand and living in your truth and teaching by example. I love it. I feel like you are growing in who you are and you are expressing exactly who you are. And you're going a little nuts right now, which is really nice to see. All right, Cap, here we go. Here is the energy coming through. Oh, no. Don't do that to yourself. Don't focus on that shit. Seeing that out of what you pulled with the oracle cards is like, what, why? So the Five of Cups is emotional suffering and loss. And again, the message here is that not all is lost. You got to take your focus away from this. It's no wonder why, Maynard and growth is showing up. I'm hoping that, this ends up being a beautiful outcome for you. But like right now, what you're feeling is some emotional pain. In the past coming through, and it may have to do with some love. So the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is the messenger of love and creativity. Now, I feel like, with that being the past coming through and seeing the Five of Cups sitting here, it's almost like, maybe the messages that you received from this page just weren't good enough. It just wasn't enough. Oh, yeah. And it's like you're not wanting to see it. Cap. Damn it. It's no wonder why there's this need to want to go out right now. But, with chakra wisdom, it's saying that you're going to realize the things that you've outgrown here. Because I feel like, with the Two of Swords underneath that page, whatever messages came through just weren't good enough. They were not good enough for you. So the Two of Swords is blinding yourself to the situation. Not wanting to make a decision. You know what's happening right now, but it's like you're wanting to guard yourself emotionally. It's like you're not wanting to deal with the situation, And again, it's like you got to take that blindfold off. You know what's happening, but you need to acknowledge it, and you need to make a clear decision here. Cap, why? Very nice. Capricorn, it never fails. It never fails with you guys, and I love it. So, future conditions. So I feel like out of this, you're like, screw that. I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's where Maynard starts to show up. So the Fool. Again, for Capricorn, you guys. I love you for that. I love it. The Fool is the newly reincarnated soul. He is taking that leap of faith into life with no preconceived notions of nothing. The Fool is wise because he knows that he knows nothing. And it's like you're entertaining this situation right now, but it's like you get to this point where you're like, screw that. I'm doing something different now, and I'm just going to wipe this clean. So even though right now you may be in a situation where emotionally involving what I feel like has to do with messages with a relationship or love, it's like you're like, I kind of want to sit in this for a minute, even though it's not truly fulfilling me and it's leaving me with this awful emotional feeling. But then you get to the point where you're like, nope, I'm gone. Oh, your best path to follow. Now, this very rarely happens. But when I see this in the best path to follow, to me, it's saying that these emotions need to be dealt with. They have to be dealt with. They need to be experienced. And that's the thing that, a lot of times people will say, well, you have to think positively. You got to think positively. No, it doesn't always work that way. There are times where we need to experience these emotions or we learn nothing. So before you take that leap, you need to deal with this here. The Nine of Swords is all about mental anguish, regret, despair, sleepless nights, crying alone, and there's this need to remember this too, so that you don't experience this again. That's the other part of it for me when I see it in this position. It's like, you cannot forget what you've been through here, because if you do, you're going to go right back to it. And you don't want to experience this. What you're saying right now is, no, I'm done with this. I need to move on. But you got to deal with this first. It's shitty as hell. Oh my God, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I hate this card and I hate seeing it as the best path to follow, but right now you have to deal with it. You need to deal with this. And again, with the Two of Swords, you got to take that blindfold off and deal with this situation so that you can take that leap of faith into something better. And in your environment, looking at that to me and looking at the messages that came through from the past to me, I feel like you're almost stuck. And, if you're in a relationship, I feel like, you're feeling some emotional suffering right now, but there's a part of you that's like still focused on the beginning of it, and not really wanting to deal with the bullshit that's going on here, because these together are no good. I mean, you have emotional and mental going on here. The Six of Cups is nostalgia. And, the other part of it for me too is about needing to restore harmony back into your life. You cannot allow yourself to stay focused on the past. You have to move forward. And again, that's why this is sitting here. It's saying, hey, you need to deal with this. Otherwise, this will be for nothing. Cap. I do feel though, with what you pulled in the Oracle cards, it makes sense because, if you're going through a situation right now regarding a relationship that's like, really shitty right now, yeah, I would want to pull Maynard too. Fuck that. I'm going out. I'm going to have a good time. Screw this shit. And it makes sense that it's showing up, but, growth is telling you, you need to ask yourself here, what have you outgrown? Get away from being stuck in that feeling of the past because it's not returning here. Your hopes and your fears, and there's the celebration. Yeah, I would be the same way. Screw that. I'm going out. I'm going to go out with my friends and I'm going to celebrate. But, again, to me, this is more about support coming through. That's about being surrounded by the people that love you and care about you and understand what you're dealing with emotionally right now and mentally at that. And again, it's like you're hoping to experience that instead of this shit here. Oh, and the outcome. And I like seeing it because to me, it's saying that you're going to make amends for whatever wrongs are going on. Now, whether this is something you have done in the relationship or whether something has been done to you, there will be balance in your life. Justice. I love it. I love seeing that as the outcome out of this. And again, it's like, it's no wonder why this is your best path to follow. You have to deal with this. You have to deal with the pain so that when you take that leap of faith, you're going to get your focus away from this and you'll be able to experience that growth and be able to celebrate it. So, and again, with justice, it's not just about the wrongs that you may have done, it's also letting you know that whatever has been done to you will be corrected as well. There will be balance in your life. And I so understand. I so understand. I mean, looking at it, it's like, oh, I know. Oh, I know. Right? You don't want to see this going on, because what you want to remember is that new love coming through, but it just like went shitty quick, like really quickly. And you're needing to deal with this before you take that leap of faith. But when you do, it leads you into this feeling of having balance in your life. And, you know, again, with Maynard, when you get to that point where you have dealt with these issues, you get yourself out of that stuck feeling here where you're like in the past and thinking about the past love, you know, then yeah, you will make amends, and what has been done to you will be corrected, and it is time to celebrate. And again, I understand. Oh, I so understand. It's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm going out. I'm going to have a good time. But with growth, this is the important part here. With whatever it is that you're going through right now that's causing this emotional and mental bullshit, you have to make sure that you deal with this so that you can learn from it and grow in who you are. Wow, Cap, I feel like, man, there's some shit going on for you right now. It's like, it's tough. This isn't easy for you to deal with, but it has to be done. It has to be dealt with so that, you know, again, you can get to that point where you feel like you have that balance back in your life. Love who you are. You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving all of the wonderful things that life has to offer. So I like what came through here, especially out of this reading. I feel like the message here to you is you need to take a look at what love truly looks like for you. You know, if you're reflecting on that feeling from the past, do not focus on the pain there if that's what you're truly trying to attract back into your life. And then consider your foundation. How committed are you? How committed are you to truly having that experience again? And then love who you are. You know, we hear it all the time. You have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. I like the way that this ended, but I really feel like maybe you guys are in a really tough situation right now. But, you know, again, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I'd be wanting to go out too. Okay, Cap, so clearly there's something going on right now that you are not wanting to deal with, and it's understandable. Because if it's causing some emotional pain, why would you want to deal with the situation? But you're going to have to. You don't really have a choice, because before you take the leap of faith here, you have to deal with these emotions. And you have to deal with the way that you're thinking mentally right now. And I feel like it has to do with a love situation. I feel like the messages that came through from this page here just weren't good enough. And it wasn't what you expected. And it's like you're focused on wanting to have that past feeling coming back to you. But truly, this isn't something you're going to be able to recapture in your life. Now, if you focus on the positive from those feelings, yeah, when you turn on your heart light and you really think about what does that look like to you? How does that love feel? When you really start to focus on that and you take your focus away from the problems, that is what you will attract back into your life. But I feel like looking at this, to me, it says relationship, number one. And that it did not turn out the way that you wanted it to. And there is a part of you right now, and I don't blame you. I do not blame you. I would be like, screw that. I am going to go a different way. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to celebrate. But before you do that, you have to deal with what is going on here so that you can have that balance back in your life. I love seeing justice as the outcome, because to me it's saying that no matter what happened here, whether it's something that you may have done or somebody has done to you, you will have balance back in your life. So, and with growth, again, it's like when you deal with this stuff here, you're going to find out what it is that you've outgrown, and you're going to grow in your own personal truth, which is good to see. And then out of that, then I would be going a little bit nuts celebrating and trying to attract that love back into my life, right? And God love you guys. It never fails the Fool. I love seeing it and it being future conditions, and then with your outcome, yeah, you're going to hit a new beginning here, and you're going to take that leap of faith, and there's going to be balance in your life, and I love seeing it. Now, when it comes to how committed you are to love and loving who you are, yes, we hear it all the time. You have to love yourself before you can love another person. It's so important. So even if maybe you were the one who did something wrong here, it's okay. Like, it's going to be corrected. And of course, Capricorn is going to do what they need to do to fix it. But now, if somebody else has done this to you, again, there will be balance here. But you need to look at how committed you are to having that love in your life. If you're going to sit there and focus on what that love looks like, you have to be committed to it. And again, you have to love who you are.